correlate it to what Anthony Rendon said yesterday, because we were having a conversation about athletes and authenticity and being open, and there's a fine line. And you kept saying, yeah, but sometimes you're too honest and people can't accept that. And you get criticized as an athlete when you're too honest and you're too real. And so I look at this list, and what I said, if you're just tuning in, was that if I'm betting on the two sports over the next 10 years, I'm looking at the stars. I'm looking at leadership. And I don't love Rob Manfred, but the fact that they have adjusted this many rules in a short period of time tells me they're very, very adaptive. And I look at the NBA and Adam Silver, and I feel like Adam Silver has zero control of his league, and he is too friendly with all of the players. Then I look at the players themselves, and I'll just list some of the names, and people may not know some of these guys on either side. If you're a baseball fan, you'll know them. If you're not, I get it. Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson, Julio Rodriguez, Bobby Witt Jr., Corbin Carroll, Josh Young, Emmanuel Clase, Adley Rutschman, Fernando Tatis Jr., Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr., and Juan Soto. Those are the 12 guys that I've identified under 25 years old. I didn't mention Acuna because he's 26, okay? And then I look, and there's a lot of guys that are second-generation stars on that side. A lot of young players, and who knows what their careers end up being. I mean, Julio Rodriguez has played 2 years. Bobby Witt Jr. has played 2 years. Who knows what these guys evolve into? But I can already see that these guys are getting record money, and they're going to be factors in their organization for the next 10 years. And I think consistency and being on one team matters. I look at the NBA stars and that are under 25. Victor Wembanyama. I've watched Victor. I'm not that, I don't have to tune into a Victor Wembanyama game. Not that I am on all these other guys, but okay, whatever. Zion Williamson, Paolo Banchero, Scotty Barnes, LaMelo Ball, Chet Holmgren, Tyrese Maxey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Ja Morant, Tyrese Halliburton, who I love, Anthony Edwards, and Luka. And there's a theme that I'm looking when it comes to the NBA players, and it ties into what Anthony Rendon said. A lot of these guys are unreliable. You know, I'm looking at Zion Williamson. Can you really rely on Zion Williamson? 3 years ago, if I would have said Zion's the 10th or 11th best player under 25, you'd say, Joe, you're tripping. But, I can't rely on him. Can you? As a star of the league?
The NBA list that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
What's the one guy that you would tune in to watch? And for me, it's Ja Morant. Everybody else on that list is really damn good. I mean, they're great.
Halliburton doesn't do it for you?
Yeah.
No, I want you to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. I love his weird shot. I mean,
you're betting, who's betting on LaMelo Ball?
I'm talking about, you're sitting at home.
Yeah.
Your time's valuable. Yep. You got to get to bed early because you're getting up early doing a show. And it's not the Warriors. It's your free time. And it's the NBA on TNT. It's a national game. And which player are you locking into? I got to watch that. And that list, there might be one for me.
Luka doesn't do it for you?
No, I mean, no.
No, I want you to be honest.
No. Yeah, I like high flyers, dude.
Yeah, okay.
I like high flyers.
So Ja's
the guy. I like
Would
high
you
flyers.
also admit that Ja is very unreliable?
Well, yeah, off the court, he's had his issues, obviously, but I'm talking about pure talent and somebody that I want to donate my sports fandom to.
Your time.
My time.
Yeah, which is the most valuable currency we have in life right now. There's not enough time, and how you allocate it is extremely important.
Anthony Edwards, okay, maybe, but that's Minnesota. I don't care about Minnesota.
Yeah.
There's certain guys on there.
Now, what about if, and again, you're a baseball guy, so you might be jaded.
Yeah.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. steps up to the plate.
I want to watch him swing hard in case he hits it. But I don't know that I'm going to donate my time.
Okay.
I mean, I was with Vlad Jr. when he was a fat kid in the clubhouse, and he was eating ice cream all day. And Vlad Sr. was there, and he was my teammate.
Yeah.
My son and Vlad Jr. are friends because they grew up together.
Yeah.
He was a little kid running around the baseball field. And I shouldn't say fat. He was a chubby little kid. But he was great. He was the cutest kid ever. So I'll watch his at-bats because, I don't know, there's a relationship there. Other than that, I mean, I got to see Acuna Jr., dude. I got to watch him play.
Okay.
I got to see Mookie. I love Mookie Betts, even though I hate the Dodgers.
Yeah,
there's some guys on the Dodgers that are hard to hate, even though they're Dodgers.
Watching Mookie Betts run the bases is one of the most intoxicating things I've ever seen.
Dude, I love Shohei. Like, what do I do this year?
But those are older
Freddie
guys.
Freeman's my favorite guy, and now he's on Dodger. Like, what do I do? Yeah, I'm sorry. We're going 20,
I know, but
25 and under is the category.
The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm looking at the next 10 years. And I picked there were multiple articles that were out there, and then I used my own discernment, and I just try to put guys together. And it's like, look, Luka is amazing. Luka might be more accomplished than even Juan Soto, who has a World Series ring, who is the top player on my other list for Major League Baseball. But I feel like we've rejected Luka's brand of basketball. Dribble, dribble, dribble. I have the ball. I am selfish. I get all the scoring. I do all the passing.
He's such a good passer, though.
No, he's amazing. But do you want to watch that? Does he look like a guy that you can hand the mantle of the league to?
No.
And everyone's going to like flock to watch?
No, dude. Jordan and Magic and Bird and Curry and LeBron.
That's what I'm saying.
Those are guys that move the needle for me. Those are the guys that no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to watch that game.
Now, there's a guy who 2 years ago, if you would have asked me this, I would have said, Joe, you're no way. But right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is someone I like to watch. He's a unique player. He plays at his own little cadence. He can get buckets all over the floor. But when you're in Oklahoma City, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to resonate. You know, I really don't know. And again, maybe I'm too tainted, but I look at someone like Fernando Tatis Jr. and the way that his star grew, and I know he got in trouble with PEDs, and he's kind of got a jaw, you know, edge to him, if you will. Fernando Tatis Jr., if you pull a bunch of kids, they love him. They love him as a player. And I don't know what he'll end up being, but they love him as a player. And I look at some of the guys on the other side, and I don't know if they have the charisma that he has.
Dude, I want him to play shortstop. I know he won a Gold Glove in right field, but I know he made errors, but the plays he was making at shortstop at times were Ozzy-ish. And now they moved him off because I think they're putting Kim at second this year and Kim at short and Bogarts at second.
Well, Kim was good at shortstop the year prior.
He's solid.
Yeah, when they had the PEDs. But why'd you give a 10-year deal to Bogarts if you're not going to play him at short?
But Tatis Jr. is a freak.
Yes.
Like, he was blessed by the gods with his dad as a major leaguer and his athletic ability and the matrix things he can do when he slides, or the way he can contort his body. Arm. It's like OBJ.
Yes.
Like he's the OBJ of baseball.
Yeah.
When OBJ was the man in football. Like, they're just freaks. And yeah, that's a guy I'm going to watch. Is that bad?
So I look at like O'Neal Cruz for Pittsburgh, Ellie De La Cruz.
Ooh.
These are some. I don't know how. I don't think the common fan could identify these guys. I'm a nerd, so I'm in on it. But I look at guys like that. I'm like, dude, sky's the limits for some of these guys. And look, not all of them are going to become Hall of Famers, and not all of them are going to be 10-year players. You know, we were talking about Pablo Sandoval at the break. Pablo Sandoval's rookie year was amazing. He didn't really come close to matching that the rest of his career. You know, and he left a lot on the table. And there's a lot of guys that do that in a lot of
sports. He's left nothing on the table. Well, recently he has. I mean, did you see him? He's in better shape than Patrick Bailey.
He looks great.
Yes.
Patrick Bailey.
That's one pitcher. I got to get down there and see.
I know.
I'll report to you, dude.
Please do. Please do. So I look at the NBA, and I think if I was going to ask NBA fans or sports fans, what's the biggest issue that you have with the NBA currently, right? And I think the majority of them would say that the players don't appreciate the consumer, the people that are paying the bills for the league, you, the viewer, you, the ticket holder. And I don't think that's fair. I think the Klay Thompsons of the world, the Brandon Pajemskis, like I look at the Warriors, they care about their fans. Like they do. I don't think that's a fair statement, but I do think the majority of anti-NBA fans or anti-NBA people or just NBA fans think that the players take a dump on the fans. Would you agree with that sentiment?
I don't know about that. I saw Steph throwing basketballs into the stands at the All-Star game and letting kids shoot. Like he was kind of bringing kids on the court to shoot. So in that regard, you see Steph interacting with fans all the time. I don't know anything but the Warriors, like, because I'm not at the arena to see other teams in their home environment. But what I see with the Warriors is they're super fan friendly and they get it.
Yeah,
they get. And this is hypocritical for me to say because I was not fan friendly. I had to lock. I had to lock in. I wasn't good enough to like sign your autograph, Joe, and go get 3 hits. If I was playing, I had the blinders on and I had to just get. I was at work, so when I'm at work, I can't go over and be your buddy and then go game phase. If I wasn't playing, sure.
If you were more established, And
maybe.
Okay. And I don't mean that as a criticism to your career. I'm just asking, would your point of view change?
Yeah, maybe. And the one thing I would say, and we'll get to this in a second, is I was around Anthony Rendon for 7 years, and he had so much fun playing baseball. He was always smiling. He was the most relaxed guy in the world. And I used to look at that and go, damn, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have enjoyed it more, smelled the roses, and had fun.
Well, that's what when I'm watching Steph.
But now he's the opposite of that. The one thing I want to ask you, getting back to the NBA, Joe, like you mentioned all the rule changes in the commissioner in baseball versus the commissioner in the NBA. What would you change to make the NBA more forward? Because my big pet peeve with the NBA is, and I'll let you go after this, is I don't like the challenging calls. It just stops the momentum of the game. Some calls are irrelevant and it takes forever. And then some ref has to give me the other night I was watching and some ref gave me a 4-minute definition of what just happened. And I'm sitting at home going, play the damn game. I'm totally screaming at the TV. That's a pet peeve of mine.
So I think both sports have an issue. There's too much inventory, as in there's too many games. The beauty of the COVID season was that we realized, like, wow, this sprint isn't that bad. You know what I mean? Like it was more important. Every game mattered a little more. Now, I understand there's a beauty of baseball being played 162 days, and that's how it's always been done. But we all can acknowledge both sports are television sports. These are television programs now. These are not, in-house viewing where they're getting the majority of their money. The majority of the money comes in through television deals. And so if I am constructing something that is a television show, both leagues need to find a way to be more consumable for the actual fans, right? And so dedicating 162 days, 3 hours a day, it's a lot. It's a lot for the common fan. Going to that many games is a lot, but watching it is even more difficult. So I look at the NBA and I say they need to reduce the amount of games. Guys are only playing 58 games a year anyway. LeBron and Steph, who are the two greatest, who are lucky enough to stay healthy this long, are only playing 58 games a year out of the 82-game schedule. And then you got a gauntlet of a playoff. So I think reducing the regular season, creating more of a sense of urgency in both sports is mandatory. And I know that the immediate kickback is they're never going to give up the money. There's a lot of television money that's up in the air right now. And I think when you are selling to an Amazon Prime and Apple Plus, giving them more playoff games, giving them more special content is what they crave. They don't want regular season redundancy. TNT doesn't sign up for the Tuesday night game for the NBA. They sign up for All-Star Weekend because they know that they're going to get more viewers and more eyeballs that way. So I'm thinking that both sports need to reduce the amount of inventory. That's the start.
Yeah, I mean, 160. No, it isn't, because 162 games a grind, man. It is just too much. It really is. The one thing I would say, in baseball, the record books are sacred more than any other sport. I don't know hallowed records in football, and I love football, and I follow football as closely as I do baseball. I'm not a numbers guy, but I couldn't tell you Jerry Rice's records by number. No, I could tell you that Joe DiMaggio had a 56-game hitting streak. I tell you Barry Bonds hit 73 home runs. Like, I can tell you all the numbers, the historic numbers.
Yeah. Ted Williams had multiple Triple Crowns.
Yes, we know this. I think a lot of fans know baseball records.
Yes.
NBA records, I don't know any of them. Give me an NBA record.
The Warriors won 73 games in a season and lost the championship.
Okay, but
no, but I know, but that's like that.
I know players and I know Hall of Famers. I don't know what Larry Bird averaged. No. I don't know what Magic Johnson's assist average was. I don't know what Michael Jordan's scoring titles were. I know that he won the championships. I know. So I would say that, to your point, 162 games sucks, dude. Like, it mentally more than physically, it's a grind. So when you say you like that little baseball in a microwave oven during COVID, the Dodgers won the World Series that year. I don't count that, because baseball is about, like, getting through the rigors mentally more than physically of 162 games. And then you get to the playoffs, all of a sudden you get a shot of adrenaline and you find a way, but you're all banged up. It's just like one of those airplanes that got shot up and it's landing and one gear's down and you're just taping things up and duct tape and baling wire and this drug and that drug, just trying to get out there with painkillers in October, and hopefully adrenaline takes over. But I don't think you can. I would love to see a 142 game season. I would love to see guys get Mondays off every week.
I think 110 is the sweet spot, ending in mid-August, so that you can control the television.
But now
schedule.
you have the record books, dude.
Forget the record books.
That's why everybody got so upset about the steroid era, because the record books. No,
I get that.
Yeah, it's the record books.
But then we're talking about a small percentage of people that are outraged. Now I'm of the age where we're in control of a lot of the voting. My age bracket. We lived through the steroid era.
I love, dude, the everyday rhythm of baseball.
No, I get that.
I love the season and how it's a reality show, and it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. I love to turn on a game on a Tuesday night against the Pirates. I don't care. I love having it on as the background to my summer.
Yeah, but if you want to capture the largest audience, you cannot have your playoffs going up against the NFL and college football season. Right? You just can't. It's not the best way to capture the most amount of attention, dollars, eyeballs, etc.